What's going on, everybody? Happy week of the NFL draft to you guys. We got some juicy Packers rumors to talk about, all surrounding wide receiver Tetairoa McMillan. Could Brian Gutekunst be interested in a trade up for the wideout out of Arizona? We're going to break that all down on today's episode. Let's get you a little bit more caught up to speed on who Tetairoa McMillan is, what he's been doing over the past couple of months, and where he might stand in regards to Green Bay's draft board. He's 6'4", a little bit over that, 219 pounds. He ran a 4.48 40. Now, that was at his pro day. Wasn't the laser timers at the NFL Combine, so take that into account. But still, at that size, that weight, being able to move that quick is incredibly impressive. But also a little bit of a note that we have to address before we dive into this. Green Bay has not drafted a wide receiver in the first round since 2002 with Javon Walker. Could he be the prospect that breaks that streak? I sure hope so. Before we dive into anything else, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because we are doing a draft week sub-battle, similar to what we did in free agency, and I need you guys to help me run up the numbers on everybody else that's in the NFC North. Okay, Vikings now is actually in the lead as of right now. Second place is Bears now. There we sit in third. Packers Report with 9 subscribers. I need at least 15 loyal Packers fans to hit that subscribe button. Join me right here on the Packers Report for the best daily coverage, especially this week leading up to the NFL Draft. We give you daily videos. We're going to have a video for every single draft pick, all you can need right here. Alrighty, so The Athletic had a recent article come out about Packers may be making a draft day trade-up for Tetairoa McMillan. Matt Schneidman, guy who writes for The Athletic, proposed this trade to the Indianapolis Colts that would move them up 9 spots. The Packers would get the 14th overall pick and also the Colts' 5th rounder. In return, Indianapolis would receive the Packers' first-round pick at pick number 23, so here's first-round swaps, and then their second-round selection at pick number 54. Here's what Schneidman had to say about the trade. Packers' 8th-year general manager Brian Gutekunst might seem more likely to part with his wife and kids than that draft capital. But he's clearly interested in McMillan after reportedly being the only general manager at his private workout and hosting him on a 30 visit at Lambeau Field. And Schneidman is 100% right. The interest is there from Brian Gutekunst, okay? It's incredibly obvious. We've seen it over the past couple of weeks. We've talked about it over the past couple of months. I don't know if there's been a wide receiver prospect that General Manager Brian Gutekunst, or really anybody from this organization, has been as interested in as T-Mac, and there's an easy reason to see why. If you look at all the good about his game, it's a lot, alrighty? I could fit it in a List 10 logo instead of just this List 5 to my right. He's got a massive frame. He's incredibly smooth and fluid for his size at 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a plus run after catch pass catcher, which I think is very rare to see again for a guy his size. He can win his routes in multiple ways, and that massive frame also leads to a massive catch radius as well. So what say you guys? Before we go any further, you guys let me know down there in the comment section. Should the Packers trade up for Tetairoa McMillan? If you think they should, go ahead, type Y for yes. And if you think they shouldn't, type N for no, but also let me know how in the comment section right now. Aaron Nagler is the one who reported that Brian Gutekunst and Tetairoa McMillan came in for a top 30 visit. Again, you only get 30 of these things, so you choose to spend them on the prospects that you have the most interest in. And he goes to say in that tweet, right? Brian Gutekunst was the only NFL GM at Tetairoa McMillan's private workout. Of course, we heard that first from Jordan Reed of ESPN+. Here's what he had to say. Arizona wide receiver Tetairoa McMillan held a private workout for scouts Monday afternoon, participating in the 40-yard dash and running routes. The 3 evaluators I talked to were very complimentary of his performance. Brian Gutekunst of the Green Bay Packers was the lone NFL general manager in attendance per sources. The only general manager across the entire National Football League that was there at Tetairoa McMillan's pro day was Brian Gutekunst. This isn't just like a 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, 6th round talent that it's like, oh, of course there's only one general manager. This is a guy that many people are saying is probably the 2nd best wide receiver in this class outside of Travis Hunter. This dude has put up back-to-back seasons of over 1,000 yards in college football. He's an absolute freak, and yet the only general manager at his pro day was Brian Gutekunst, okay? And before you tell me down below in the comment section, Joey, he would never trade up. Green Bay would never trade up. That's not true because they've done it before, and they've done it recently, and they've hit on it. 2 of the past couple times they've done it in Jair Alexander and Jordan Love, okay? If Green Bay sees a prospect there that they want, that they think is going to perform at a high level for this franchise, they will go up and get him. Let's talk about Jordan Love, alrighty? In 2020, the Packers received the Dolphins' first-round pick at number 26, and in return, the Dolphins got their 30th overall selection and their 4th-round pick at number 111. Let's go back to 2018, 2 years prior. This trade-up was a little bit bigger from 27 to 18, 9 spots, which is exactly what Matt Schneidman's trade proposal was up to the Colts this year. They swapped picks in the first round, number 18 for number 127. The Packers got a 7th-round pick, and the Seahawks also got their 2nd round and their 6th-round pick at number 76 and number 186. And I just want to go out there and say, like I've said through the entirety of this draft process, I absolutely love McMillan. Okay, I think he's my favorite wide receiver in this draft. The combination of his size, his speed, his athleticism, and his hands, I believe all coincide together and will result to a fantastic product on an NFL football field. I think he would be a fantastic Christian Watson replacement. I think size-wise, they're very similar receivers. I think that Tetairoa McMillan just might have a little bit of upside in his, catch rate, catchability, and also with that speed as well. So coming up, I'm going to talk about the risk when drafting Tetairoa McMillan. I don't know if you guys saw this from a couple of weeks ago. Some pretty juicy stuff. We'll get into it. Before that, I got to give a massive shout out to the new sponsor on today's video, House of Atlas. And after years of rocking facial hair, I've switched to the clean shaven look, and I wanted to find a razor that matched my lifestyle. The existing brands out there really haven't innovated in years, and I was excited to see the new brand Atlas on the market. Their razor comes from the creators of the brand Athena Club, a leading women's razor brand, which my wife loves, and they really know what they're doing. The blade head has 5 U.S.-made stainless steel blades that glide right through my facial hair. It has a high-performance serum strip that's infused with ingredients like aloe, vitamin E, and shea butter, which reduces irritation and helps prevent ingrowns. And when I got married about a year ago, my wife looked at me and said, Joey, I hate to break it to you, but I don't like the scruff. I don't like the facial hair. So over the last year or so, I've been trying out different brands, and I tried until I found House of Atlas. And they had everything that I needed, from their razors to their shaving cream to their aftershave, all right there, and they do everything so well. It's so easy, no irritation, no nicks, no bumps, nothing like that, because they know exactly what they are doing. So make sure to head over to House of Atlas, because for a limited time, they're offering 15% off your first order when you purchase any razor kit, and the before and after set, which includes the Precision Shave Cream and Calming Aftershave. Use code CHAT at houseofatlas.com. That's HOUSEOFATLAS.com. with promo code CHAT for 15% off your new razor kit and before and after set. Stop wasting money and time on shaving products that don't look good, aren't effective, and cost way too much. Visit houseofatlas.com today. Trust me, you'll love it as much as I did. So you might think it's all just sunshine and rainbows when looking to draft a guy like Tetairoa McMillan, and unfortunately, it's not, because this came out in late March, so a couple weeks ago. He was interviewed a few years ago, I will add, and this quote was, "I don't watch football. I don't like watching film either." CF Sleeper, or Sleeper CFB, said, not a great look for projected first-round pick. Now, I want to clarify, because this made the rounds on social media and kind of had everybody freaking out. And kind of had a lot of people saying, like, why would anybody waste a first-round pick on a guy like Tetairoa McMillan? This was filmed 2 years ago, the summer offseason, might I add you, of 2023. And you know what he's done? Since he said, I don't really like watching football or watching film, something super chill, like just back-to-back 1,300-yard seasons, 1,700 yards, 18 touchdowns, 174 catches combined since he said that statement. So no, it does not concern me one bit, okay? Because you don't draft a guy because of his ability to watch film. And I get that. That's an important part. And if it hasn't gotten drilled into him over the last year and a half at Arizona, as he's matured, as he's gotten older, as he's tried to perfect his craft, then it will at some point in the NFL. But you draft the player to play football. You draft the player to be excellent in his position, and Tetairoa McMillan is. Plain and simple. So tell me your thoughts down below in the comment section. What's your concern level about McMillan's comments? Scale it for me, 1 to 10. 10, you're like, I'm incredibly concerned. Would not even think about selecting him in the first round. And if you're like me, you're more like a 1, being like, doesn't bother me one bit. Come on over to Green Bay. Let's talk a little bit more about him. Let you know a little bit more about the wideout. He forced 29 missed tackles in 2024, third most in the NCAA. He also had a steady growth in contested catches, up to 60% rate this year, 18 out of 30. However, an interesting fact about McMillan is he's pretty much only caught passes from Noah Fafita, even dating back to grade school. So that's going to be something to watch out if he transitions to catching passes from Jordan Love, hopefully, is like, how will that go? How will that feel? He's really only caught from one person for the last 10 years of his life. Could that be something he has to adjust to? So my take, to put a little bow on this entire thing, is I think that Goody is really interested in McMillan, okay? Enough to pick him at 23. If he falls to 23, I don't really think Goody would waste much time turning that card in. I don't know if he likes him enough to trade up for him, though. So, I could see a world where Tetairoa McMillan is a Packer, but everything would kind of have to fall in the right place. I don't think Gutekunst would go out, make this move that Matt Schneidman said in The Athletic, and waste some draft capital to get a guy, because I think there's some other options that he think could still be really good for this team at 23. If you're not going to draft McMillan in round 1, here's some other targets to look out in round 1 and the subsequent rounds. Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas. I think there's probably a 30% chance he's still available at 23, maybe a little bit less. We're just going to have to see how the board falls. Emeka Egbuka, late in round 2, I don't think will still be there, but we also know that Green Bay is incredibly interested in him. I have him there at round 2 and not round 1 because I don't really think he's a round 1 wide receiver. Round 3, I really like Savion Williams out of TCU. Incredibly fast, forces a ton of missed tackles. Also is a really big guy as well. You can use him in the backfield, use him in a ton of different places. He could be available in round 3. And then Torrey Horton out of Colorado State is a name to look at. Had some injury bad luck this past year, but prior to that was a really, really good player for Colorado State. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Again, we are trying to take down all of the NFC North in this week's Draft Week sub battle. So if you haven't yet, go ahead, hit that sub button.